world. Have you been listening? Within these videos, we discuss what is called a rising wedge and how the US and the world stock markets all have formed this rising wedge. When the lower channel breaks, a violent sell-off occurs. In the year 1987, when a lower support channel broke, the markets retraced, came back up, and then plunged 37% in the crash of 1929, the greatest crash of the century. The markets broke the lower channel, dropped, retraced, and then dropped nearly 50%. In the current crash cycle starting in the year 2016, the U.S. stock market in December broke the wedge and then plunged into Christmas, December 24th. Since December 24th, the markets have retraced back up. Nearly all media and analysts continue to believe that the markets will continue to rise into new highs. This chart is screaming extreme danger. I want to bring your attention to what is called a head and shoulders chart pattern. This chart pattern has three tops, all corresponding to what's called a bullish or upwards trend. However, after the head is formed, what happens is the markets drop and they break the trend line. This trend line break is then followed by a retracement back up into wave point 3, which is called a right shoulder. You will notice that the retracement back up is back up to the trend line. This trend line serves as a final resistance point before markets reverse and then begin their plunge. Why is this important? Let's look at the U.S. stock markets, particularly the Dow. You will notice the rising trend line. You will notice in December the trend line broke into a low. Since the break, markets have retraced back up to the same trend line. The markets are finished. The U.S. stock market is done. The markets are set to now reverse and then plunge. By zooming out and looking at the same chart, going back to the year 2007, you'll notice the orange zone here is called a Bollinger Band zone, and the middle Bollinger Band serves as support. The support line currently comes in at approximately 12,000 on the Dow. This is an expected price target. Next.
Alright, Shalom. This is Harawan Banyasha Allah of the GMS Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Harakak Wadash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, and Nagwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Yeah, man, you see right here, man, this is just more proof that the dollar will collapse, the Dow is going to collapse, and the S&P is going to crash. All right. Now, about 40%. But, you know, you got a lot of idiots out there that's going against the truth. They believe that the economy is going to keep going. They believe that they can build a community here in America with that black unconscious movement. You got Jakes that used to be in this truth. They walked away from the truth because they didn't believe that the Lord was going to show up. You know, they became impatient. All right, I'm gonna start off with this precept here. It says Luke 9:62, and Yahushua answered unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom. All right, so you're not fit to walk into the kingdom with as the elect. If you walked away, why? Because you lost patience, man. And you walked away from the truth, and now the shit about to happen. And the Lord said he's going to bring these temptations upon the world. With temptation is what? A test. All right, a trial. Now, all right, this is James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. See, supposed to endure and be patient and long suffering unto the end. And enduring this trial, just like when we came out of the wilderness and the children of Israel wanted to go back into Egypt because they felt as though they were suffering. Well, that was a trial phase. That was a testing phase. And that's what we're going through now. All right. And we're about to go into the trial phase of this, man. All this is a test. All right. Now it says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, see, to be tried, all right, he shall receive the crown of life. So we got to get through this trial that's coming. And the main trial that's coming is the RFID chip. That's the major point where it's a test of that suffering. If you suffering out here and you get weak and the flesh get weak and you're not guided in the spirit and the Lord not covering you, then you're going to get weak and get that chip. All right. You're going to get weak and commit sin just so you can live or so your family can live. And that's what the Lord is testing you for, man. See if you're going to blaspheme him or go against the truth. And if you walked away from this truth, or you telling people the RFID chip is not the mark of the beast, and so on and so on, the dollar's not going to collapse, man. It's just going to change over to a different system, and we're going to be prophesying to, like IUIC teaching, man. You know? So it's all madness. But the trends and these damn economists, they saying differently. They go along with what the apostles and the rest of the brothers and even include myself, all right, the hopeful elect, what we're saying. The economists and the trends go along, they're in rhythm with what we're saying, you know, in harmony. Now, and that the collapse, this is the year of the Charagma, where they may push the RFID chip. And by doing so, there would need to be an economy collapse or a dollar collapse. All right. All right. Verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which Yahweh hath promised to them that love him. All right. This is Hebrews 3:8. It says, harden not your hearts as in the provocation, right? To harden your heart to this truth, or say, I'm good, and just walk away, or be hard-headed, or to have your conscience singed with a hot iron, to where you just teaching fallacies, man, and false doctrine, teaching people that the RFID chip is not the mark of the beast, man. All right, you're kicking against the pricks, because the prophecy is coming to pass either way, and they coming fast. You see, he was talking about that rising wedge and the head and shoulders chart, and it's about to drop. I'll be past 50%. After the retracement, when the market went back up, the beginning of February, now it's about to shoot back down. It retraced up to 25,000, and Esau in America, hoping that the rally takes it up to 30,000. But if you look at the trend, it's about to hit a ceiling, which it just hit today. All right. February 20th, I think it is. It just hit the ceiling. And now, at some point, whenever it happens, it's going to be a downward spiral. And that downward spiral, at some point, is going to drop down all the way to 12,000 or 11,000 range. And that's complete market collapse, to where now the Illuminati can do what they planned all along and push in the new world order through that, and push in the chip, and have what you call a global reset. Because America's fiat currency, the dollar, is not the only floating currency that's crashing. You got China's current fiat currency. All the paper currencies around the world are crashing. Why? Because they're doing away with that system, and they're trying to force everybody over to what you call the blockchain system. All right. With a ledger-based system, to where they track everything you do once you enter into it. And then they can give you a chip as the the capstone for that currency. Keeping using gold, oil, and all these things as reserve, as assets, and they're going to use the RFID chip at some point, because they can't use the dollar. By then, all the countries around the world start shooting the dollars back to America, and every country goes based on their own currency, but they they peg it to gold and silver or oil, whatever they have in their reserves. America is going to be dealing with hyperinflation because they don't have gold, and if they do have gold, somebody owns that gold through the debt, the $22 trillion of debt. So, America, by that time, all the countries gonna have to send their dollars back to America, which is gonna cause what? Hyperinflation, man. So due to that, they're gonna say, "Oh, you want out of hyperinflation? Well, I'm gonna have to give you all this chip," and people are gonna take the chip, man, to pay for their food and take care of themselves. Having a new, fresh credit base and able to trade in any currency around the world and shit like that. They're gonna sell out, man, and get that chip. All right. Now it says, Hebrews 3:8, harden not your hearts as in the provocation in the day of temptation in the wilderness. Now we're going into the day of temptation again. All right, in this wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, so they tried him. Just like you saying, you tried me, right? When they, so they tempted the Lord, proved me, and saw my works 40 years. So the Lord is faithful and true. All right. And he know how to divide the sheep from the goats. And that's what he was doing for 40 years. Kept him in the wilderness. And, the wicked didn't make it. All right. But the righteous, the children made it. Just like today. It says, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years. Wherefore I was grieved with that generation, and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. So now the Lord, what? He promised to put the spirit of his son in our hearts, calling out Abba Father. And he said he made known to us the mysteries of his will today. All right. And now we know now we know all things according to his will, but we never understand fully Yahweh's ways. But this right here shows us that the temptation is coming, and that's a trial to where the Lord is testing us, man. And we're going to go through that test. And we should be thankful to go through that test, to be tried by a true King of the heavens and the earth, man. All right. Of which he always going to make a way of escape. He's going to strengthen you through it. And it's a chance for him to show his power in bringing you out of it, delivering you. Now, wherefore I was grieved with that generation and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. So the people that are saying the RFID chip is not coming, they're saying the dollar is not going to collapse, saying these prophecies not going to happen, then you don't know Yahweh's ways. You don't know that he's bringing a sword upon this place. You don't know that he's ready to bring the end of this place, man, so he can bring in his kingdom for his son, Yahushua, and his people, the children of Israel. It says, so I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest. So if you don't know Yahweh Bashim Yahushua's ways, and if you upset the Lord in these times, say, kiss the Lord, lest he be angry and you perish from the way. The word kiss represents giving charity. All right. Now, greeting with a holy kiss. And that holy kiss is what? A kiss of charity, meaning teaching his word, doing the Lord's work, serving the Lord. All right. If you ain't serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and doing this work, preventing your body as a living sacrifice, and still pushing, then you perish from the way. You don't understand his ways. It says, they should not enter into his rest, right? We say those that touch the plow and look back are not fit for the kingdom. You're not fit to walk into the kingdom, into his rest with him, into this truth, into this work, which is the rest, where he calls the weary to rest. And also when he goes into the kingdom, he won't allow you to, enter into that with him. You'll be born as a baby. You have to die first. Now it says, take heed, brethren. So we're supposed to take heed to the ways of old. brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief. Right? Saying that this shit not gonna happen. And departing from the living power. Walking away from the truth, man. But exhort one another daily, meaning teaching his word daily, all right, to the best of your ability. Teaching his word daily, exhorting one another, exhortation. While it is called today, while we're in this age, this is the age where we teach. In the next age, we're not going to be teaching. So this is the time to get all the work out and teach as much as you can, because in the kingdom, we're not going to be teaching. So you got to do it now. So I don't know what the fuck these people waiting for, man. These sideline dudes, man. The people that walked away and they like, well, let me come back to the camp. Let me do this. Well, you think you something because y'all teaching. No, motherfucker, you need to get to work. Do the goddamn work, man. The fuck is you waiting for? Waiting for your woman to tell you to go do the work. Then you're going to go do it. A lot of these dudes, if they women threatened them and said, I'll leave you, then I'll leave you if you don't go do the work. They'll be out there tomorrow. They'll be out there in the cold, in the lightning. You go out there, you'll see they black ass out there before you get out there. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief, in departing from the living power, Yahweh. But exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. This is Revelations 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? If you keep this word, the word keep goes back to the word shamar, meaning watch or protect, to watch over. If you're a good steward and he left you an authority to teach his word, then what? He said, if you keep or protect his word of his patience, of his long suffering, of his endurance, all the way into this end, right? Being his voice in the earth while Yahweh Shah is not here. He's not here to speak for himself, so he's speaking through us. And that's a suffering. Can you imagine not being able to show up and cuss everybody the fuck out or destroy everybody? Now he's speaking through us. So imagine if we don't want to speak, then you're not allowing his voice to be heard. You see that? And you're frustrating him. You're frustrating him even more. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So you protect him, he protect you. He said, you got my back, I got yours. Bottom line. Which shall come upon all the world. So there's going to be a world temptation. So if people don't think that this is going to happen, or this scripture is not talking about the chip, then what could it be talking about? Because around the world, they don't worship just Jesus. They all worship different idols, different false gods. So that's not it. It can't be an embargo. That's not around the whole fucking world. Everybody's not in agreement with each other. What can it be? It's going to have to be the blockchain system. All right. And to where they start pushing that chip. It's right in front of everybody's face, man. That's the trap. That's the temptation, the trial. All right. And that's the end of a currency. That's major, man. It's the end of the dollar. The world currency, the God that they trusted in, that they call God, people, they've trusted in the dollar. They call that God. They call that their power. Look at Oprah. They call her a powerful woman. Why? Because she got money. That's not power, man. That's debt. She got $1 billion worth of debt. That's operating under de facto, meaning everybody agrees that it's money. So that's the only reason it's really called money. But in their law, in their contracts, in the court system, in the Constitution, dollar is not known as notes. It's known as gold or silver. It's really known as silver in the Constitution. All right. Now it says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, the trial, man, the testing hour. Right, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. It says, behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown, right? So that you don't fall to any man's trap, any man's snare, like Esau, the fowler, the hunter. right? The Lord said He's gonna make a way for the hopeful elect to escape that snare, that trap, that temptation. This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There have no temptation, no trial, no testing. All right, no being tried like you try your sword and you test it out, see if it'll break, right? And if you break, then you're weak, and it cast you to the side, you know. Or you test the tree and you try to push it, and if it falls over, then it won't stand the wind, it won't stand the storm and the flood that's coming, you know. So you gotta get a strong tree. Now it says, there have no, with deep roots, right? There have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. See, man is made to be tried, made to be purged, made to be perfected. All right. And to be perfected, we got to go through adversity, a beating, a breaking up, to break up the mind, the fallow ground. And that's the affliction. Right, to afflict someone, to break up their mind, you know, to break up the weakness that's in the person, doubt, insecurities, fear, sin. It says, but Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. So the Lord said, we able to conquer this. All right, the same way Jacob was wrestling with the angel, the same way we wrestle with this flesh, we can conquer it through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We can conquer any weapon that's formed against us. And that RFID chip is a weapon. It's a deception. It's witchcraft. All right, it's a token of fear and of submission to Esau, to a man, to the devil, you know, to the left-hand side. That way you cannot take that damn chip. You got to seal it in your mind and be prepared. All right. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are tempted, but will with the temptation. Soon as they pushing that chip, soon as they pushing the martial law and the, you know, and they come in rushing like a flood, or they tempting everybody to get that chip. You got to wait on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Look for his sign. Look for his signal. Look for his help. Wait for his help. Hope for his help. All right, like Elijah had ravens bring him meat so he can cook it. All right, so on and so on. Hey, look at Daniel. I'm going to do a lesson on that, too, in a little bit. When he was in the lion's den, and the Lord, I think he sent Habakkuk with an angel. The angel, what's he call that? I can't think of the word, man, but you grab somebody and he teleported them to where Daniel was at, and he was cooking, and Habakkuk was cooking, and he took the meal to him. He said, hey, man, that meal you cooking, that's for Daniel. And he's like, whoa, what? And the angels gripped him up and took him to Daniel, gave him the food in the lion's den, right? In captivity, in the concentration camp. And then snatched him out, teleported him back. That's the God we serve, man. The God we serve, Yahweh, and his son Yahushua, man, made the heavens and the earth. All right, come on now. Freed Peter out of prison. Freed us out of Egypt. You know, raised the dead. Yahushua's alive right now on the right hand of the Father. So we have nothing to worry about, nothing to be concerned about, but trusting in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, let him be our fear. Let him be our dread. All right, so, but it says, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it, man. All right, so he said what? Flee Babylon spiritually, and he's going to deliver the bird from the snare of the fowler. And that bird represents the speckled bird, the hopeful elect of Israel. This is Proverbs 22 and 2. Actually 22 and 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, right? And you want your name in good standings with Yahweh and Yahweh Shai in the heavens. He said, if you reject him, he'll reject you in the heavens. If you're ashamed of him, he's gonna be ashamed of you in the heavens. So if you're ashamed to teach this truth and afraid to lose your family over this truth, like they walk away from you, then hey man, you're ashamed of the Lord. All right. Or if you trim your ways to seek love, start cutting your beard off and shit. Whatever, man. It says a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor than silver and gold, man. Right? Because gold and silver not gonna save you. Stockpiling gold and silver not gonna save you. You still gotta break it down in the fractionalized form to be able to buy and trade and sell with it. You can do that, but how long will that last? Crypto coin not gonna save you because they shut the internet down. You ain't gonna have no way to get to your fucking money. So it's a trap. It's a snare, man. And the only option they're gonna put in front of people's face is the chip. Even though they're gonna have other currency, but the chip is gonna be the one that they put. You know, everybody gonna try to ignore it. A lot of people gonna get it, but the one that try to ignore it is gonna be right there. And hey, just take the chip, just tap out. Like CT Fletcher say, all you gotta do is tap out. That's what the devil gonna say to you. All you gotta do is tap out. You know? But the Lord, like in your ear, like, come on, you can do it. Push. Don't get the chip unto death, man. You know, that's what he yelling up there in the heavens, man. He believe in you. Now, verse 2, it says, the rich and the poor meet together. Yahweh is the maker of them all. So when we see the rich, the super elite, and us being the poor, the children of Israel, the Lord said he made them all. He made us all, man, the maker of them all. So the Lord controls the left hand and the right hand. He controls the sword on both hand sides. You know, he handling two swords. And he gonna cast the other sword down on the left hand side. He gonna raise the right hand. Verse 3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, and this is evil, the bad things that are about to arrive with the stock market, which I believe is going to be this month, you know, going in the next month. Now you have Trump talking about national emergency, you know, focusing on nationalism, going against globalism, right? Or setting the stage for the bout between globalism and nationalism. And they're going to try to say globalism is the best way once the dollar collapses. They're going to say, see, if we ain't let this nationalist in the office, which is all acting, right, and plotted out by the elite bankers and the Masons and Trump and them. So, hey, if we ain't let this nationalist in the office, we wouldn't have had the collapse. So, hey, look, we got to make a new global currency. The dollar didn't work. You see that? So it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil. So you got eyes to see. Blessed are your eyes for they see and your ears for they hear. A wise man is going to put it together and say, hey, man, look at the trend. Look at the prophecies. It goes right along. It's happening. You can judge the seasons and the times and the seasons and the weather, but you can't judge the trends and the prophecies that the Lord told you. You can't see it. It's right in front of you. All right, the dollar, you got the chip in your pocket and the fucking card. They're pushing the idea to you. That frog in the pot process. In the boiling pot, you throw a frog in the pot and the hot pot is gonna hop right out. If they show it right now, guns blazing and chip, everybody would be scared of shit and try to run. And the nations wouldn't accept it with the chip. But they want everybody to accept this chip. That's why it's gonna be an accepting thing to where people are gonna give in and take it. All right. So they want to what? Order out of chaos. That's their plan. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. So where can we hide? In the word, in the scriptures. You know, in the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, he said, hide me under thy wings, man. And the righteous run into it and are safe. Into what? His name. His name is a strong tower. Protect a defense against the evil day. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, right? And hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. You know, what the fuck is you doing right now if you're not telling people that the chip is the earth, is the mark of the beast? And you're not warning people to not take it. And you're like, y'all people, y'all always say that's the chip, like Zabak. Y'all always say it's the chip, but it's not the chip, man. It's an embargo or something else. It's like fucking boneheads, man. Like they're gonna get punished for that. All right, sheep led to the slaughter, literally to the slaughter. You're gonna be slaughtered. By humility and the fear of Yahweh are riches and honor and life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. See? So you're going to get caught up in the trap and in the thorns and the snares of Esau, of the devil, you know, and you're going to get tripped up on things along the way, trapping yourself. All right. So thorns and snares are in the way, meaning you can't get this truth. It's blocking you. And when you walk, you're going to be blind. You're going to think you see something, but no, you're going to trip over it. And the snares and the traps that Esau or the devil sets for you, the Lord going to allow you to fall into them. So thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. So you froward and you're speaking against the truth. He that doeth keep his soul shall be far from them. You know, shall be far from what? Sin, far from these snares, the traps. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So we got to teach this to our children as well. Teach them about the trials that the Lord brought us through and how he tests you. And so you understand his ways, man. So you won't think that, hey, man, it's all hunky-dory. The Lord just got me. No, you got to pray that he has you. You have to ask for forgiveness. This is a repentance thing right here. You pray that he leads you through the hour of temptation. What is the hour of temptation? Please help bless me not to get that chip. Keep me from it. Lead me not by my own understanding. The flesh is willing. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So please strengthen me to overpower my spirit. My flesh. You know, and be with me. That's what you pray. I was like, yeah, man, ain't no chip. What you talking about, man? I got potato chips and idiots, man. But lo and behold, it's February 20th, and the market rally has hit a ceiling. And we're gonna see what happens from this point, man. And the debt in America has went past 21 trillion. It's in 22 trillion range. All right, and it cannot be paid. All right, Jeremiah 51:5. For Israel have not been forsaken. See, even though we're going through these things and we went through slavery, we have not been forsaken. The proof is that you're able to hear my voice speaking this word today. You hear the brother's voice and the apostles. You know, that's the proof. And the prophecies are happening. The Lord promised to send the comforter and that he was going to wake us up to life. And we've woken up to life. All right. And with a chance at salvation to live life forever. It says, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of Yahweh of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. And our land was filled with sin, you know, and our people were full of sin when we were asleep. But now the Lord has woken up a remnant. Verse 6, flee out of the midst of Babylon. The midst representing the belly, right? The belly of the beast, the trap, mentally. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. All right. And that's how you be delivered, through the deliverer, Yahushua. You know, who can deliver you out of this temptation that's coming. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense, man. Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken her for wine, therefore the nations are mad. All right. And America has used the dollar as deception to make all these nations poor or impoverished. If not, their economies would be booming right now. But pegged to the dollar and in the basket of currencies and shit like that. All right. They're at jeopardy of failing, and they've been operating in third world countries while America has been flourishing as the golden city, the great whore. But now it's her time. It's time for her judgment. The Lord ready to judge America. And in that judgment, he has a trap set for the 2/3, man. And you don't want to be in that number. You want to be in the number of the 144 and the 1/3 of the believers that are delivered from this coming temptation in the wilderness. All right. All right. Now, he said, as birds, we shall be delivered from the snare of the fowler and the hand of the fowler. The fowler is a bird hunter or a fowl catcher, the one that catches birds and hunt game. And in this society, he said he sends us forth as sheep amongst wolves. So we're the game. But the Lord said these heathens are game to him. See that? The Lord, Yahweh Shai, is the true hunter. So he said, Isaiah 60:8, who are these that fly as a cloud, as doves to their windows, man? So who is that? That's going to be the hopeful elect. All right. That's going to fly as doves to their windows in clouds. And clouds represent the chariots. And the Lord going to set them over you to deliver you from the coming temptation, the coming famine and civil war and martial law and the World War III. All right. So the Lord can deliver you from within and from without. He can deliver you through courage in your spirit, right? Through integrity, and he can also deliver you from with the angels and with spiritual power to protect you. All right, I'm gonna end it with this. Proverbs 22:22. It says, rob not the poor. So this is really the 2/3 of our people. All right, the heathen is the main robber, but 2/3 of our people rob our people when they don't teach them the truth, or they tell them lies. All right, they robbing them of their salvation. It says, rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. And that's what Esau does. They had the police kill you in the streets, afflict you, and they oppress the poor, right? And they make no account of our labors. And Esau Trump is oppressing the poor right now. All right. For Yahweh will plead their cause and spoil the soul of those that spoiled them. So, hey, man, everything that Esau, the trap that he's trying to set for us, the Lord's going to turn it for good and have it fall on them, fall on this whole world, man. All right, having them destroy themselves. For Yahweh will plead their cause and spoil the soul of those that spoiled them. So Esau has spoiled us, all right, robbed us. And 2/3 of our people attempt to rob us today with these churches, with tithes and offerings. You see that? With lies. Not warning you of the coming collapse and giving you false names and idol names and shit. Telling you the Lord's name is Jesus. The Lord's true name is Yahweh Shai. That's the name of deliverance. He deliverer. Verse 24. All the shit that Esau has done to us, the so-called white man, the Lord gonna do to them. Verse 24, make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul, man. And 2/3 of our people have learned from Esau's ways, and they follow after their father, the devil. So they're going to receive the reward of the wicked. All right. And they're going to get that chip. They're going to, their submission and their trust in Esau and in Egypt is going to cause them to get pricked and get that chip, get that symbol of ownership, or they're going to get weak. Or they try to turn back at the last second. No, the Lord's shutting that door, man. He closing up the breaches, shutting up the way so you can't get into this truth. All right. So, hey, man, get prepared.
And have a close look at the Dow. Let's go into a little greater detail. Since the top forecast on the 3rd of October, the markets dropped, and then they retraced. From the middle Bollinger Band, the retracement was 4.7%. The markets then dropped in November and then again retraced. From the middle Bollinger Band, the retracement in this case was 3.5%. In the last drop, the markets crashed, broke support here on December 7th. This was the break of the trend line. Once this trend line was broken, the markets had plunged into Christmas, December 24th. President Trump made an announcement and the markets reversed back up to the trend line. And presently the markets have retraced back up approximately 3.5% with a potential maximum of 4.3%. At this point in time, the markets from the middle Bollinger Band are within normal range. This should be a completionary point here for the markets. Do expect an imminent market reversal. Today's date is February 20th, and to be crystal clear, the trend line broke on December 7th of 2018. This was the break that sets the stage for the market plunge in 2019.